believe in the Bible answer these questions. Now, only one answers. I don't need no you lost or you dumb or none of that shit. Just answer my questions, please. And all these answers should match because y'all all believe the same book. So in the Bible, it says Adam and Eve was the first people on this earth, right? But then how did all other races evolve? If two Caucasian people or whatever race they was, how could they possibly make other races? And better yet, wouldn't we all be related? Another question.
Centuries, people have asked, what did Adam and Eve look like? Were they white, black, or something else entirely? Many Western paintings show them as Caucasians, but is that accurate or just cultural imagination? Let's dive into religion, science, and history to uncover the truth. Watch and pay attention, and I will share my thought later.
Noah's Ark.
My guy, honestly, it kind of makes me sad how nobody in the comments can answer this man's questions, but I can. Alright, so first what you messed up at is when you brought up Adam and Eve and saying how two Caucasians can make other races. Let's start off by saying Adam and Eve was not white, they was not Caucasian. But two black people can make other races, which is called the Eve gene. You can just go read up on that yourself. Not to mention the oldest bone found in the world is from a black woman. Now let's get to the book of Enoch, which was taken out of the Bible. The book of Enoch was taken out of the Bible because it was rejected by the Jews, because it contained prophecies pertaining to Christ. Now let's get into how other races was really made while using the Bible. Scientists honestly proved that the Bible was real without even knowing it, honestly, when they found out about the Neanderthal DNA. I do not know if y'all know about the fallen angels. Everybody in this world was black to start off with. The fallen angels were sent down here to watch over the people, but instead they started having sexual intercourse with the people. With the fallen angels having sexual intercourse with the people and disobeying God, they had kids and created giants, which then giants started to have kids, which created Nephilims. And when the Nephilims began to have kids, they created Neanderthals, which scientists proved that Neanderthals did exist, which then the Neanderthals began to have kids. And not only that, where those people was living, there was a lot of sun. The Neanderthals couldn't take the heat, so they hibernated to the Caucasus Mountains, which then the Neanderthals began to have kids, which began to create this. Caucasians were made, not born. It's a mutation. Also, and since you talked about the bloodline, God speaks about how after the third or fourth generation, you lose a certain bloodline. Kind of like if a black person have a kid with a white person. That kid is 50% black, 50% white. Then say that kid goes back to a black person. Now that kid is going to be 75% black, 25% white. Then after that kid goes back to a black person, that kid is still going to have an itsy bitsy piece of white DNA. But after that kid goes back to a black person, the white has disappeared and is soon to go back to its natural race. So sooner or later, that whole bloodline will be wiped out. So think about where that bloodline will be at after thousands of years has passed. You had a lot of questions, so now I gotta make a part 2.
Be related? Another question, Noah's Ark. So y'all truly believe that Noah grabbed 2 of each animal and put them on a boat and none of them ate each other? Y'all call me a deceiver and an antichrist for not believing in something that obviously doesn't make sense. So I just want to know, how do we repopulate after Noah's Ark if God flooded the whole entire planet and only Noah and his family survived? Y'all saying that Noah is our ancestors? So you telling me this guy right here, including me, and this guy has the same ancestor and we're all related? I really want to see what answer y'all can give me for that. Just think about how you sound while you're typing it. Another question, if heaven and hell is real, you have to die to go to heaven and hell.
My guy, so you truly believe that if God can speak to Noah and his people to create the ark, that he couldn't spiritually speak to the animals to let them know not to eat each other? He created human and animals. I'm pretty sure he could speak to both. Also, have you not heard of the Eve gene? The Eve gene is a mitochondrial DNA that could create any color of race. So let's talk about the book of Enoch that was taken out of the Bible. I don't know if y'all know the scripture of the book of Enoch where it talks about Noah's father and mother going up to Enoch telling him that Noah looks like the kids from the fallen angels, as if he's a descendant of the fallen angels. You can go watch my part 1 to tell you how people were created in different shades and forms. Noah was of a pale skin, albino. That's why his father and mother was scared of him and said that he looked like the children's descendants of the fallen angels. He was a pale skin and colored eyes. Also, God talks about the fourth and fifth bloodline, where your bloodline will wear out after a certain amount of generations. So yes, Noah did have to repopulate the world. Him and his family. Noah was albino and his wife was black, which she contained the Eve gene. After a certain amount of generations, your bloodline will wear out. For instance, if a black person has a kid with a white person, that kid's going to be 50% black, 50% white. Then if that kid goes to a black person soon, their kid is going to be 75% black, 25% white. And if their kid goes to a black person, that kid is going to only have like 1% of white inside of them. Then after that, sooner or later, that bloodline of white will be wiped out. That kid will only be of one race. That bloodline has been thinned out. Also, you can go watch my part 1 to show you how Caucasians was made, which basically answers this question also. But there were curses put upon his people. So after thousands of years, your cousin far, 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 far on this side is black, and your cousin far, 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 far on this side can be white. But you will never know. That's the power of life. And that's the power of Yah. So you can't also just read the Bible. You have to go read the parts of the Bible that was taken out also. It could actually answer all the questions that you're asking. My guy. Science just proved that the Bible was real without even knowing it. Okay, so as y'all know, scientists just found out there's another DNA called Neanderthal DNA. Alright, so now I'm about to tell y'all why science just proved that the Bible was real without even realizing it. So scientists are saying that every race contains Neanderthal DNA. You know, Asians, Latinos, Europeans, Hispanics, and the list goes on. But they also say that every race has Neanderthal DNA except for African modern descendants, aka black people. Like, you know, they really just proven that the Bible really is talking about the black people and how they're the real Hebrew Israelites, the real Jews. No disrespect, but one of the scientists actually noted that it's kind of like them being the pure humans. Hey, that didn't come from me, that they said that. I'm just repeating it. Now let me tell you where Neanderthal blood came from. Neanderthals came from Nephilims. Nephilims came from giants. And giants came from the fallen angels. Now the Bible speaks about how the fallen angels were supposed to be protecting the humans. But instead they began to fancy them and began to do sexual activities with the women and men, creating children. These children became dysfunctional giants, like those of Goliath, the one that David fought in the Bible. The giants soon began to create their own offsprings, creating the Nephilims, which allowed the Nephilims to create kids, which resulted into Neanderthals. Now, Neanderthal skin couldn't expose to the sun, so they had to move to a colder climate, aka the Caucasus Mountains. See where I'm going there? Which is where they got the word Caucasians from. Their skin grew lighter and lighter, which created the lighter skin pigmentation, which a lot of these races and ethnicities carry till this day. Now, Nephilims were giants, the violent offspring produced when wicked angels mated with human women in the days of Noah. The hybrids born from this unnatural union were no ordinary children. Since the Neanderthal blood is still alive, that just proved that some must have lived after the Noah flood. Otherwise, their habitation would have been washed away during this global catastrophe. This means one or more of the 8 people that was on Noah's Ark must have carried the unique genetic variations that Neanderthals possessed, allowing those genes to survive and to be passed on for a time before they eventually died out.
Adam and Eve are central figures in the Bible and the Quran. Both scriptures describe them as the first humans, parents of all mankind. But here is something many overlook. Neither text says anything about their skin color or race. The Bible tells us Adam was created from the dust of the ground. The Quran says from clay. Dust and clay come in many shades, and scholars often point out that this was symbolic, showing human fragility, not skin tone. So when we see European art showing Adam and Eve as pale skin, that is not scripture, it is culture. Resonant artists painted them to look like themselves, not as an objective truth. Science tells a different but fascinating story. Modern humans, Homo sapiens, originated in Africa about 200,000 years ago. Genetic research traces all of us back to a common ancestors often called mitochondrial Eve. If Adam and Eve were the first humans in the sense, then they would have lived in Africa. And what does that mean? They would have dark skin, adapted to the strong African sun. As humans migrated north into Europe and Asia, skin color changed gradually over thousands of years, lightening to handle lower sunlight and vitamin D needs. In other words, white or Caucasian features came much later. Why then do so many people think Adam and Eve were white? The answer lies in imaginary. For centuries, Western art shaped religious imagination. From Michelangelo's sinister chapel to children's Bibles, Adam and Eve were portrayed as Europeans. But that does not reflect history, it reflects the artist's world. Every culture tends to imagine holy figures in their own image. In Ethiopia, some icons show Adam and Eve with darker skin. In Asia, you will find depictions closer to local features. So the truth is, how Adam and Eve are pictured often tell us more about the culture doing the painting than about the real first humans. Whether you believe in the religious Adam and Eve or the scientific story of early humans, one thing is clear, they were not Caucasian in the modern sense. They were human beings in Africa, ancestors to all of us. That means every race, every culture, every person alive today can trace their roots back to the same origin. Dark skin, light skin, curly hair, straight hair, all of it comes from one family tree. So instead of asking if Adam and Eve were white, maybe the real lesson is that they were the parents of all of us. Humanity's first story is not about division, it is about unity. Were Adam and Eve Caucasian? They were likely of African origin, with darker skin. The Caucasian version we often see is simply art, not fact. But in the end, their color does not matter nearly as much as their meaning, that all of humanity shares one beginning. We are one family. Thank you for watching, guys. Do not forget to like this video and share your thoughts in the comment box below. Until next time, cheers and have a good one.